Welcome back. This is episode 4 of Small British Steps, and in this episode we're going to start off by looking at our first low film return mission. So let's have a quick look. Thanks, Jane. Let's have a look. What we've got to do, we've got to take it over 100 kilometers and go downrange 200 kilometers, and then we've got to return it, and we've got to have avionics for the first 50 seconds. We've got that. We don't need anything else, do we? No, we just need to send it up. So this is the one we're going to go for. Gives us a little bit of completion reputation. Is I'm going to get these two mixed up constantly, and that of course takes all that up. It's reputation and it's confidence. So reputation gives us money. Confidence gives us the opportunity to do more stuff. On a side note, our confidence is now up at 380, which just to check would mean if we look at programs for the early one here, for going fast, we need 150, so we've got a big chunk free. If we then went for satellites, we're looking at 600 being pretty much what we're looking for. Probably I think I want to go heavy. The main reason being that you just have to do 3 satellites, which I think is nicer. What I'd really love to do is to do both of them, and I wonder if you can do both at the same time. I wonder if that's allowed. Do they block each other? Because I would really love to do both. That would be really cool. It doesn't say you can't do both. I would really like to do both, just to get them out of the way and also get the funding at the same time. That'd be a nice bit of chunky funding, because that's 4 years. That's 8. We could run this one on normal speed. It'd give us 6, which would be nice. And then we could build up to the heavy launches with these, like, first scientific satellite, 1 ton and everything. So that's a thought, but that would require. Let's see, fast on that is 350, normal on, well, we want to go fast on that one. Fast on that is 5 years, and that's 600, and this on normal would be 0, so we're looking about 600. Okay, plus this one on fast or breakneck maybe, so 750 is what we're looking to try and get to. If we can get to that, we're doing well. Right. I've got a vessel complete. It is the 18th of June, 1952. We're in our second year. We're about halfway through it. And it is time to launch our atlatl. It's O2 because, well, the O1 version doesn't have proper payload. It's just sounding rocket style, but we'll probably see that in the future. Well, let's launch this and see what happens. All right, so here we are on the launch pad, and of course, we're always in the shade. I wish we had the launch pad the other way around. That looks much better. Anyway, I'll have to fiddle with that. So we have a mission. Our mission is to go 200 kilometers downrange and go up 100 kilometers. And of course, if we're just testing this, you come over to MechJeb, and if you click on where are we, flight recorder, that will also tell you the downrange. You don't have to look at the mission, so you don't have to have selected the mission if you're doing some prep for this. So what I will say is turn that off. If we have an engine out at the start, I'm going to roll it back in and start again, because I don't think it's got enough thrust to get off the pad if one of its engines doesn't work. So, are we ready? I think we are. Let's... 2 engines are out. We'll just kill that. Well, that could have gone better, couldn't it? Right, recover it to the VAB. Let's try that one again. Right, so we've got a recovery here for 6 days. Now I've never done this before. I've never recovered a vessel like this. Normally I wouldn't have a failure on the launch pad because I don't normally have it turned on, but we'll run this forward 6 days. Here we go, and then we'll roll it out again. And I wonder whether that's actually fixed the engines or not. We'll find out. If we have 2 engine faults when we get it out there, we know what's wrong. Of course, this costs us a bit of funds every time we roll it in and out, which is a little annoying, so we're not getting the bonus funding that we would really like. It is dark. We'll just roll it on to the day. There we go, and we'll launch it from there. Right. Second time's a charm. Second time. So, engines on full. We'll pull our... you can see the sun has moved, obviously. Right, we're going to go again. What I want to check this time is, let's just have a quick look at data. So we're at 4,218. Will that go up if we have an engine failure? That's the question. You will notice we have 5 engines. I could put 7 on this. In fact, other variants of this have 7 engines. It might have been a better idea to do it, but then equally we go up really fast, really hard, and I don't want to do that. So, we'll see how it goes. There we go, got full engine light. We are go. Get this thing sorted. There we are. We're going up, that's good. Now, any point now, we can start to think about, yeah, we can afford to lose an engine now. I think that we're alright now. We can afford to lose an engine, so if one of the engines goes now, we're okay, I think. I think we'll still head up. Right, I'm going to start the turn there, we'll turn it to 85. We only need to get up to 90, to 100, don't we? So that's not a big issue. The downrange is the challenge. Can I get the thingy? Right, that's actually activated, that's good. And we're going to put it on surface velocity, and we're going to hold it on that actually. I don't mind too much. You can see we are now not even a kilometre downrange. How exciting. We've got 1 minute 20 of fuel to go. Total altitude is getting moving. The thrust at the end, however, is the big one. 6 thrust to weight ratio, which means we're really going to be motoring that acceleration at the end of this with all 5 of those engines firing away. So we just got to get ourselves out of the thick stuff and be in a sensible position for that point. Right, how are we doing? We're at 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Again, we only have to go over, we don't have to go out of the atmosphere. It would probably be better actually if we arc a bit, but we'll see. So we're gonna take this down a bit. There we go. So I think we're definitely going to hit the 100. It's whether we get, well, we're going to hit the 100. I'm looking at it going, yeah, this is probably going to be okay. It's about us now getting the downrange distance, so I'm actually going to go surface to 45. Let's put it at 45. We've got the gimbal control going on now. We're going up there. Yeah, there we go. We're going to do this. So now we actually want to get a bit more downrangey. Is what I want to do. There we go. We've got altitude on our side. Get this thing down a bit. There we go. 35. Get us out of this atmosphere, please. Oh, we've got. I want to actually get us down to 0. Get it down to 0. Oh, we've induced a spin. That's not a good thing, but we'll see what happens. Right. So downrange, we're at 41 now. What I'm actually going to do is we're going to decouple fairings now. Actually, get rid of those. Is that now working? It is running. Okay. And then what we'll do is when we come round over the top, we'll decouple ourselves and just send ourselves sideways a bit. I think about now. There we go. And then we can arm our parachute like so. There we go. So now we're away from the craft, which is quite good. You can see this is really basic. So we've basically taken our sounding rocket science unit, a parachute from it, and strapped it onto this thing. And that's all we've done. We've not built a really advanced system. I think it's the same. Yeah, in fact, we might even have less battery in it. We might have even lightened it down. So let's have a look. This does take like 8 minutes to gather science. So, and it only gathers 3. So we're not going to massively build up. We're actually, yeah, we're over water. Oh, that's interesting. So what have we got? We've got a whole range of different desert, high shores. So fly high in water, fly high shores we got a tiny bit of. Flying high desert we got a little tiny bit of. And then we've started getting space low desert. Okay. Let's have a look. How are we looking for our contract? We are at 150. Yeah, we're going to make that easily. So we can speed this up all the way through the atmosphere. It's going to get to 200, isn't it? Yes, superb. Done. And I think you have to be over 100 when you do that as well. So yeah, it's good that we had the extra distance on that. We probably could have failed that, actually, thinking about it. Right, what are we looking like for data right now? Oh, we've got some data on this. I'm really hoping to get like 5 data would be lovely. I'm not going to get it. 0.3 and 1.5. So yeah, that's 1.6 is done. That means we will be able to get the next materials node, and we're going to be partway towards. I really need 2 for the next sort of cockpit and all that sort of stuff. So let's have a look. 0.2. What are we at? Oh, we are gaining this. Okay. So this is going to sort of just do its thing quite nicely, I think. Yeah. Is it going to give us any data though? Flying high in the desert isn't giving data, but that did. Fly high over water did. Why are you not getting? Oh, there we are. It just takes a while. Okay. What am I doing? Click off that. There we go. So 0.1. Right. So we can just speed this along now and see how much we get. 0.2. So what have we got so far? Oh, we're going over the 100 kilometer boundary, are we? So 0.2. That 0.2. So that's 2 so far. 2.1, that's good. I really need about 2.9, but we're not going to get it. We're going to be short. We're going to have to rely upon the biological capsule, aren't we, to give us any additional. Is this going to get a fourth? Yes, it is. We get a bit more. That's good. We like that. And then we're going to basically stop any second. There we go. We've stopped. Right, so the craft behind us is now exploding because of all sorts of stuff. Because we're blunt bodied like this, we're going to just slow down really quickly. We're light and bulky. That's one of the advantages of the camera, actually. Although it has got a bit of mass to it, it's huge for that mass. There are changes underway, I believe, to change the way the cameras are. I saw a thing on GitHub which was looking at, they were looking at having actually a camera 0 and a camera 1. So I think this is considered like camera photo 1. They're going to have a photo 0 that basically was non-biome specific, small camera. You needed to launch like 60 of them, so you could put like in groups of 6 or 8 or something, or you could put just one up in like an Araby type thing. So it gave you a reason to put something on and then recover and things. So it was quite a nice one actually. It would work nice with sounding rockets and things, and giving you another reason to have sounding rockets, although you've got quite a good reason now to have them. Right, so we're going to bring this down. The parachute is armed. We are coming down over Alert Desert. It's quite flat, isn't it? Were we anywhere near anywhere that we know? I don't believe so. We did go quite a distance down. In fact, let's actually have a look. Where's the flight recorder? There we go. We went almost 500 kilometers downrange. Okay, so about 160 up and about 500, almost 500 kilometers downrange. That's not bad at all. So keep that in mind. That might be useful in future for us to think about. All right. Coming through, we've got some stuttering there. Is that the ground appearing? Possibly. We're going to come down. We're going at quite, I've sped it up quite a bit here. You see we're up at 3 times the physical time up just to get this going. Slow it down as we hit the point where the parachutes, oh, stuff is exploding. Still got explode. That must be hitting the ground now. There we go. Parachutes are out and it's going to flip it over a bit. Is it? Oh, no, it's still, there's still the air resistance is quite stunning, isn't it? Oh, more stuff hitting in the background. Okay. We've got a lot of debris raining down upon Australia, which is, for the British, it's quite normal. Actually, I mean, when we did the Black Arrow, you can still find, I don't know if it's still there, but I remember seeing a picture of like the first stage of the Black Arrow that had been discarded and landed, and you could actually make out the parts. It was quite interesting, actually. It survived so well. Of course, I think Black Arrow was basically built a bit like the Atlas, whereby it was pressurized tanks, I think, balloon tank technology. So yeah, nice little thing. It survived. It was all crumpled, obviously. All right, let's get this thing all the way down. Hurry up, please. What we're going at 3.6. That's good. Does it? We don't actually know what's on board, do we? So we'll see what it's going to look like. Now see we're at 9.1. 9.1. I think we've completed everything. We just need to get home with this. So 9.1 science and 81.2. Okay, that's not bad. And take this down, and we're going to pop it down, safe, and we can now recover. We finished the mission. Superb. So we are back, and one thing I forgot, we get some science from the suborbital mission. I forgot that we only did one of those because I knew this was going to happen. Forward planning by sea monsters. It's always surprised me. So we got a total of 2.3 science from the camera. Not bad. The majority of it being on that low space over the desert. We got a big chunk of the 5 there. Got a little bit of the low level stuff. You can see we got a little tiny schmidgen, which is added up nicely, and then we got the 0.8 there, which has helped us. We got a little bit of funds back. We got a chunk of funds actually from the camera coming back. That was almost 100 funds, so 150 funds in total, which actually pays probably for the rollout a bit. I think I'd have to check it, but it probably covers our rollout costs. And let's have a look. So I suppose we should spend some science. We want to get this. This is important to us, partly because it actually increases our build rate. And then our next step is going to be up here, because I want to get this, and then we're going to get 3 more for that. And then that gives us pretty much my rocket plane situation is sorted. One thing I need to be aware of, I'm going to have to pay for these. And they are not cheap. They're 10,000. So I think once we get this materials one, I think we then start doing the research on that so we can start building the planes. I think that'll work out sensible at that point. So if we go to research, we're going to move. Yeah, look, see, there's no point doing that one. It's well behind, so we might as well slow it down. So we'll move this one up. And in fact, does it make more? No, that's still at 1, so that's fine. We could move that up. What happens if we move that up? What percentage is that at? 1.19, and that gets no effect to that. So what's the quickest? Let's actually, there's a way of doing this. So if we put in the use days and so forth, so this second one will finish 53:09:08. If I do that, 53:08:29, so that's actually quicker. Okay. So it's quicker to get the material science first, which is sort of understandable, and it's going to have a quicker impact on us. It just takes a while to get them done, doesn't it? So yeah, you can do that. You just play around with it and see what happens. So yeah, that is just a long time to wait for that research to be done. I think we need to think about, does this actually help anything? It doesn't, does it? So it's just a case of putting more staff on board. We're currently at what, 90? We might want to go up to 100 if we can afford it. But I want to get this build rate up first, I think. Right. So that's done. Let's get the contract out of the way. Done. 21. We're now up to 40,000 a year from the subsidy, which is helping with us. So that's taken that up to probably about, what's that? I want to say 10. But it's probably more like 8 or something like that. We've had an daily increase of 8. We are going to use 17 a year, so we have to basically maintain this by getting 17 a year. We have low film return, right? So this, you can see, start counted. That 12 days is good. This is going to be, let's have a look. So we've got to go camera over 150, downrange 400. We can do that. We have actually done it. I don't know if we've done it 400 when we were at 150 though. That would be the problem. Cover downrange distance, I don't know. Let's have a look. How's it? Reaching altitude 150. They are separate. Yeah, it's separate. Must achieve. So these two are separate. They're not do that and be that far down. So that's probably a good one. So what we'll do is we'll pop up. We'll go into combination. We'll pop another atlatl for the camera up, and then we can pop that one in after the bio return, I think. Of course, I could go into the VAB to do that, or I could click on plans, and I've actually just moved these into the VAB, into the plans list. So if you're in the VAB and you bring up this, you can click on plans, and whatever craft you have saved and on screen, if you click at the top, there's a box up here normally, and it says, add to plans, it will put them on. So you can see I've got some of the atlatls lined up just because I thought, we're gonna go through a few of them. What I would say is, I don't know if it'll let you do it if you don't have enough funds. So I don't think I have enough funds for the camera one. You can see the Atlatl 2 camera. Also, if it needs tooled, it's not going to tell you here, I don't think. So you do need to check it's tooled. I know, for example, I think most of these are tooled. I think possibly bits of these are not tooled. Mainly, I think the nose cone, and I'm not too worried about it because I think it takes about 30 to 35 days or something to build them, and that's not a big issue for me. But the camera return, I don't know if we've got the funds. We don't have enough funds, so we have to wait. I think it's about 700. So we'll run it forward a little bit. We'll just get the pad redone. There we go. And what we might do is we might just move it forward a bit. There we go. Gets a bit of funds in, and then we can actually put the next one up. The camera return. We'll try that. Or should we try the big one? I think we should try the big one. I think that's going to give us a bit more leeway, and it also gives more engine data. It might take longer to build though. It's going to take, let's have a look, it's going to take 108 days. I don't know what, if we got money, we haven't got enough money to put the other one in. 108 days, might as well try it. Actually, no, that's 108 days. Let's go operations. So 108 days, get rid of it, scrap it. Yes, I want to scrap it. Let's put the other one in. Let's have a look. 88 days. You know what, we'll go 88 days to start with, and we'll see how it goes. And it's a little cheaper. It's 100 cheaper. If we can't make it, we can't make it. I think we'll just not worry too much about it. Right, so next step, what we got going on, we have got a dart ready in 55 days. We have got, I'm still undecided as to whether I actually go for the difficult one. I think I probably should. I feel cheaty not going for the difficult one. It is 220. We can finish 220s, and it might give us more in the intermediate. I don't know. I feel as though we're just letting ourselves down by not doing it. Also, we're at a point where we're going to start being able to launch bigger craft sounding rockets, and they're not going to be too annoying. So I think we just do that one. I think is what we're going to go for. Right, and then we've got this, and then we've got the first. This one I need to do next because we're going to start the timer just like this timer has started. So let's get a dart ready, I think. And of course, in the time that it's done, we've got about 4,000 funds built up. I'm thinking, do I want to finish this off? Do I want to take it up to max? What's it going to do if I take it up to max? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's the right number. If I've overdone it, I'm going to be annoyed with myself. There we go. That's that done. I think I take the researchers up as well. Can I? Have I got enough? I need 3,000 to do it. Roll this out. Yeah, roll that out. And warp to roll out. What's that give us? Gives a bit of funds, doesn't it? Down to 42. Okay. Need to be careful now. Oh, that's interesting. The bio return is ready as well. Oh, of course, rolling out is going to cost me funds. We might as well roll it out, because we might as well get it going. That's going to just use up all the funds. That's ready. And then I can just do that. That's going to use funds as well, but whatever. And then, cool. And then we can actually just, we could just hire a few of these. There you go. Right, researchers. There we go. We're up to 95. Okay. So what's the first mission we're going to do, actually? So film return, we could get going first. It would start its timer. It doesn't really matter which order we do them in. This is, yeah, suitable. We could do that. Let's do the film return. And I might do this one off camera. Right, let's do the film return, get that done. So it's just, film return, biological. Biological, we just need to get 35 units of science equipment over 100 kilometers. And we probably want to do an arc, I think. Probably just like the last one would be ideal, wouldn't it? Get as much science as we can. Right, so we're going to do the bio return. There we go. Right, I shall see you on the launch pad. Right, so we're on the launch pad with our first biological thing. Have I got the ability to find it? No, it's the fairing. Is it on is basically what I'm wondering. Is it down here? There's the decoupler. You know what, I'm going to have to look through the fairing on it. There we are. Where is it? Where is it? Is it that in there? Nope, that's not it. Is that it there? Nope, that's the payload. Where is it? Where actually are you? It's in there, isn't it? There it is. Right, there it is. Okay, it's active. Okay, I could have just, you know what? I could have just gone into here and gone to auto and checked that it's prepared. Okay, right. So aim of this one, get to 100. Get as much science as you can. It's basically the idea. Again, if we have a failure on engine setup, we're gonna abort it. We're gonna ready for the surface straight away. So start engines. We have an engine out, so we're gonna. Actually, you know what? Is this gonna be not that? I want to actually see what we're on. Okay, so it says we've got 1,000 extra data from it. That's cool. Shut that down. We will bring this in. And we shall start again, I think. So we're going to wait for that to come in. Now what we could do, I wonder, can we can cancel a contract, and I don't know if that gives us a -15. It used to be you could you got a penalty, and I think rejecting this, no point rejecting it. I think you can at points reject them, cancel like offers, turn them away and get 0. That's been changed, but I think cancelling that would cost us some of the reputation-y stuff. So we're not going to do it. We're going to sit and we're going to watch. We're going to watch that go back out, get recovered, and then go back out again because we can. What's that warning? The vessel did not pass the editor checks. Oh, has it got a fuel thing? Okay. So let me just take this. So if we go into edit, let's go and see what the problem is. Right, it's actually coming up as too light, and it said that earlier because we burned fuel off. So we have a certain amount of fuel in the launch complex, but obviously we let the engines run. This doesn't have a fuel pump in it because I've decided to run with just the standard sort of simple launch table. It doesn't have a fuel pump in it, and so it's got less fuel and it's underweight. So what we have to do is basically replace it with another version of itself, which I'm not a big fan of doing. Load that. And what does that do for us? It actually makes it quicker. It gives us 5 hours. So we're going to save the edits. And then I think it's actually sitting higher as well. I'm going to save the edits, and that should be ready. With those changes, you'll see that if I go to the launch complex at Lateral, you see it's actually moved it down the rankings because it's been edited. So I have to pop it up again. It gives it 5 hours to do that. There we go. And then we can roll that out again. It's going to take 4 days. It's also going to take a bit of funds, which I'm a little concerned about, but we should be okay. Just, oh, look at that. We scraped it. Now, if we run out of funds, I think it pauses or tries to bring it back or something, and you end up having a problem. So you really need to check that this rate of fund production and what you've got in here is going to be okay to do it. That was a bit tight. I sort of guessed we might be all right, but a little bit on the tight side. Right, let's try that again, I think. All right, so we can see the vessel has been completed again because we had to do that refit on it. So we should be ready to go. We're going to try this again. So let's see, engines are go, everything is ready, we are good. Let's pull engine light and we are away, everything is good. So we're just trying to get to 100, that's all we need to do. Got good going, right? I think we can afford to lose an engine anytime. I think about now we should still have enough thrust to get us going, so that's good. I think we're probably doing okay. This is probably going to be a good mission right now, unless we lose a lot of engines all of a sudden. The good thing is we do have control of this, so if we lose engines, it's not going to veer off control completely. We're going to tilt this over a little bit. There we go. We're going to give it a little bit, and then I think we're going to pop it on surface velocity and go -2. We're going to look at this. That's going to put us not too bad actually, but going up okay. And now I think we can just speed up the whole thing to 2x speed, because we don't need to waste our time with watching it for the next minute, just firing its engines. It's a bit loud, but should be okay. We can pull back a bit like that. So there we are. You can see we've got the fairings there. We're gonna separate those as soon as we burn out. Actually, we don't really need them too much. And then I want to put this on probably when it gets to about 45. We'll hold it at 45, so that's not going to be a big issue. We're up at 60. I think, you know what, actually I want to go lower. I want to go a nice arc on this, because I don't need to get science from space. We want to get as much as we can from wherever we can. Go to normal speed. Let's put it surface. Put it on 0. Oh no, we've burned out. Look at that. I was so preoccupied by looking at that. Right, so we're gonna get rid of the fairing. This thing should now be running. So it needs 19 minutes in the atmosphere to get everything, but is it biome specific? No, it's just flying high. Okay, so this is good. It can just gather it for 19 minutes. That's cool. I wonder whether it gathered it while we were actually traveling. I wonder if it needed the fairing to be off. So we'll get rid of that. We'll pull this in. No, I don't think it did. I think looking at the maybe we'll have to have a look. I think we have to wait until the fairing came off it. Right, and then I think what we could do is just do that as well, get that going. It's gonna stay stuck to it, is it? Oh no, it's separating. It is separating, and that's good. We really want that to happen. We'd like them to drift apart just a smidgen, just to get them a bit away from each other for re-entry, really. And we can pop on the parachute and actually get that ready. And oh, there's 22.5 science available from orbit, but it does take 19 minutes. And again, not biome specific. I quite like that actually. We're just seeing what altitude and orbit and stuff does to biological samples. So that's nice. I like that. So we've got a big chunk of potential science available there. So 25 for that for a 20 minutes flight. That's interesting. I like that. We could definitely send a few up just to do that, and we could put them in big long orbits and things like that. So let's see how this thing goes. I have got it, so I think this end is the heaviest, so it should orientate itself. Whether it comes down at the right angle and does orientate itself, or whether it's got balance in 2 directions, we will see. We've got a little bit of time. The annoying thing is because we haven't upgraded the tracking station, I don't know how long it is until we actually get to apoapsis. So could be soon, could be slow. We're actually past it now. We've got 3 and 0.9. That's good actually. This is giving us more science than we were getting on the film canister, which is really nice actually. So we've got about 4 science on that. I've about almost 24, 25, 26, something like that. So a big chunk of it. And then we're going to get this one, and this goes up to how much? 13. Okay, so technically if we did 13 flights, we should get all of the science from it. In fact, probably more than less than 13 flights, probably more like 10 would give us it. How we're looking? Yeah, look at that. What we're looking like for actual total load. Yeah, you can see, so we're actually, our sample is running out, but we're not going to run out in any sort of shape or form. So you do need to run multiple of these. So you got, yeah, big chunks. That's good. I like that. Coming in through the atmosphere, at some point we're gonna run out. Coming in about 2,000. It's not really slowing down that quickly. Possibly should have gone for a flat bottom, would have probably been more effective. But you try and make things look a little bit more sensible, don't you? Right. So we're running. We've not got any more science coming in. We've got 1.8, 4.1. So what's that? 5.9. 5.9 on top of what we already have is 0.2. So we're looking at about 6 science. That'll give us our next plane node. And then, I don't know where we're going to spend the next bit of science. Maybe avionics or maybe engines. We could go engines if we've got space. Although I think they're going to be about 8 science. Right. Here we are coming through. And we can speed this up now. We can speed this up and this is going to be a done deal, I think. So we've had... I've just realised both of these craft have had to be wheeled back because they had an engine fault first time, and both of them launched perfectly the second time. I don't like the fact that is a thing. What I do like, however, because we've got multiple engines, we can't see them. Our data for our engines should be up considerably, so we might even be up nice and high now. I think we're up like 8,000. I think it goes up to 10,000 data units. So we're almost maxed out, and these engines actually were reasonably reliable by the time they finished developing them. So the Spectre engines became quite reliable, and generally British engines were reliable. Ironically, like the Gamma engines on the Black Arrow, those engines, when they were used, the early Gamma engines on the Black Knight, well, I think they didn't have a single fault, or I think they may have had one subunit fault or something like that in all of the flights, and it was like the first one. Black Arrow, however, had all manner of issues, and I think it may have been the implementation of the rest of the craft. But to be fair, they were on a shoestring budget and they managed to put something in orbit. So I think all praise be to them. Even when the program got cancelled, give us one more shot and we'll do it. I think it's very much a British barn, back garden, back shed sort of situation. Right, we're coming down. And this is going to be completing that mission. I actually need to check that we've done it. Yeah, there we go. So you just need to return home, and that will start the timer on the next one of those as well, which is really nice for us. That will get the timer going, which is good. And those timers are really important for us because we're going to need to get that reputation and that confidence. They're going to be big givers of reputation and confidence, so we're going to let them build up a little bit. There's only so many of these we can do. I think there's only 2 more of this and 2 more of the film camera one, and then after that we don't get any bonus from it. Right, so there we go. It's been done. What do we get? We get 16. Pop that off. What's that taken us up to? So we're now it's about 2,000. That's giving us 2,000 a year extra, which I'm very happy with. Recover that. We'll get some funds as well. Right, so we got 5.9 science. We got a little bit more, so I think that takes us up to 6 science from that. Takes us 6.2 in total. That 0.1 doesn't really do anything for us. We got 152 funds returned because we've got the avionics, we've got the biological sample, which is actually almost as much as the film camera. We've got the parachute, we've got procedural tanks, which give us a little bit of funding. So we got about as much. In fact, did we get more than the film camera? That's interesting. I suppose we can sell the creatures that come back, the flies or whatever it is, to collectors. We can put them in aspic or whatever you do at this point in time. So we got a little bit of funds back, about 300 there. We've got the dart to do. I am going to do that, I think. Yeah, we'll go do that. Let's do that quickly. So the dart, you can see, we can actually check. So we've got, this is now up to 96 days. You see, look at that, 105 on that and 22 on that. It's lovely. This one is only just started, but again, it's going to be 75 units to 120. We can do that. I think with the craft we've got quite easily. I think it's got 75 units on it. I'll have to check. And then we've now got the first advanced biological. See, that's the capstone. So these are optional. This is the capstone. This is, I think, does that mean it's the final one? It's the final sort of mission that we need to get. This requires 200 units, and on a suborbital trajectory. So we've got to take it 200 units over 140. And we've got to be a surface speed of more than 2,000. I think our uprated version of the Atlatl can do that. I'm pretty sure it can. So we've got that, but we need to, and I think it's pretty much ready to do. We just need to unlock the advanced biological thing. In fact, I think I've done it. I think we need to just check that it's been done, but we'll think about that. Right, science, first of all, let's have a look. What do we need to do? We have got this, so that is unlocked, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we could actually let's just do it. Let's just purchase that. And we might as well get the mass spec, because, well, that's 5,000. Has that eaten into... including parents? I think it's only eaten into that one, isn't it? Yeah, I think it has. It's eaten into that one. What else is on this line? Right, so we could use this because we're going to need it. We're going to use that at some point. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, so it's kept the parents. So the parents is kept as long as possible because we want to use the parents up over here, ideally on the avionics. That's going to be chewing into us a little bit. What do these avionics do? They save us mass, and this one saves a lot of mass, actually, the science core. So we might want to think about that. Basic rocketry is 3. We're definitely going to take the supersonic flight. Gives us 3 left. We could save up for this, which would give me the upgrade to, where are we? The upgrade to the A1 engine, and I think that takes me to potentially a nice speed. I think it gives me a decent craft. Or we could go up here and I can upgrade my engines, my Spectre engines, and potentially have a look at the Gamma engines, the individual units. Or we could just use the Stentor booster. Now, remember, the Gamma engine is actually the sustainer part of the Stentor. So the Stentor had 2 engines in it, and I think it's modelled as like a fusion between the two of them. It's a 60-second burn. The Gamma engines I've got down as a 90-second burn, which is sort of, I think, more suitable. There's a big, if you check the data, the Stentor has a big engine that pushes it up to speed and gets it there, and then there's a second engine that just holds it there for a bit longer. And so I think the Stentor is actually a bit of an in-between sort of mishmash of it. But somebody can correct me. It's got, what's its thrust? 121 kilonewtons, whereas the Gamma I've got down as 16. So that is the big engine getting up to speed, and then the little tiny thrust engine would be this here. So which to do? We're not in a hurry, so I think we'll wait for it. I am tempted to get this building because there's 2 craft I want to build, and if I just start them, we can actually start building them. I'm already paying for the hangar anyway, so I can push crew across there as we need it and just get it going, is a thought. Or do we finish this? Because that would be helping everything we do. Let's finish this. The materials science. Does it give me anything special? Gives me a structural tank upgrade, which I don't really want to use. I want to wait until I get to here to really push on those. So, oh, it's tempting. Now we've got 2 of them. Oh, move that up. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. This is the play around, isn't it? So, if we do it this way around, 53 and 12. 53 and 12, 25. So it's pretty much the same, isn't it? It's a little quicker this way around. However, is that because that one doesn't do as well? But I get both of those. I basically can start building a craft 365 days earlier. The rocket engine version should be built earlier then. And a year is a long time to do it. I think we do that. Yeah, I think we do that. Then we'll upgrade it. Get the better front end on it. But we could put that like that. That might be better. Yeah, that is, isn't it? And then if that goes up to... That does save time. No, I think I want to get that. I want to start building a plane. And we can do that with that there. Because I think we have the parts for the rocket plane. And at least then we've also got to start thinking about buying crew then as well at some point. Right, so there's that done. Next mission we're going to go for is this one. We're going to just rocket through this one. Rocket through this one. I think I'm going to go difficult. Yeah, I feel as though I should be going for the difficult one. Yeah, because I have a feeling as though we're going to come to the point where we're actually going to finish these. And that's something that I don't want to give up on just now. So let's do the difficult one. Yeah, let's do it. Right. Right, I'm going to launch that. We're gonna go for it. We're going to go and launch this, and that'll be the end of this episode. On the launch pad, it feels like ages since we've launched a dart because we're doing all the other stuff, but I suppose, you know, it's time to launch a dart. So 3, 2, 1, get the engines going and fire that thing off. And all we're trying to get is to 220. So hopefully we don't get engine failure. Actually, I need to check. Let's check the old engine data on this. How are we doing? Yeah, we are maxed out. Look, the Spectre engine is maxed out now, which is absolutely beautiful. I love that. I love the fact that it's maxed out. Right, start the Spectre, and there we go. Off we are, and this thing should... Oh, that explodes in the background. Let's speed this up and get it going. Do we actually have science on this still? We do. We do. So we could, if we run out of things to do, we could always send them over there and do some science over water or something like that. I think temperature and or pressure is biome dependent, so we could do that. Oh, and we've done, like, what are we looking at? 280 up. That's good. We just got to get it there now. Just got to take it all the way up there, get that done. Then we can do this, the controlled explosion, and we can be done with this mission. Let's come on, get up there all the way. Oh, let's do a quick check. So we're currently getting 42,178, 42,178, and we are going to, in fact, we can just hover over it and have a look if it changes. So it's 42,700 and whatever, 43,500. So we got about 1,000 off that. That's not bad. 1,000 for 20 thing. That's not bad at all. Right. We'll just drop that to normal speed, and we're not going to get anything else from this. So we are going to range safety it. There we go. And so from me, until next time, have a great one. So if that was good for you, check out on the screen right now some links. You can see other videos you might like. Check out the channel, see if there's any playlists you like. There's also some links to other content creators there you might like. Or leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, do all those things.